Hi, my name is Ashley Scotland and I'm a student registered nurse, and my purpose today is to inform the public on the dangers and realities of drinking and driving. Impaired driving is dangerous, unsafe, has severe legal repercussions, and intense emotional consequences. According to the 2009 national statistics, over 30,000 people were killed in accidents, 32% of which were related to alcohol usage. An additional 254,000 received injuries due to alcohol accidents. And also, drunk drivers kill someone every 48 minutes in the United States. So as you can tell, this is a severe problem, and to start off, the first point that I'd like to point out is the safety aspect of drinking and driving. So there is a risk to the individual themselves. If you're drinking and driving, you could either hurt yourself severely or kill yourself, because when you're drinking and driving, your mind is impaired and you're just not thinking clearly and you can't think rationally. And also the risk of injuring others. And I'd like to point out a man that received severe consequences due to another person's actions of drinking and driving. And his name is Joel Sonnenberg. And as you can see here, he has had severe consequences to drinking and driving. And I'd like to read off his first quote in this book. So he often gets asked the question, what happened to you? And this is what he said. Everyone who meets me, everyone who sees me wonders, what happens to you? Rarely a day goes by that I don't hear this question. Some days many times. Those people who don't come right out and ask still wonder. I can see the question in their eyes and in their reactions, their awkwardness, their silence, their double takes, and their stares. If people don't wonder about me and my story when they meet me, I worry about them. When I try not to take offense if they look at me strange, I definitely look at them strange if they don't. How sad is this, that a man, he had his whole life ahead of him. He was 2 years old when this accident happened, and he received third-degree burns over 85% of his body. And he went through over 50 surgeries to look this way. And that's all because of a drunk driver. The second point that I would like to talk about is the legal aspect of drinking and driving. As you can see in this graph here, the highest incidence rate of drunk drivers are those of the age group of 19 to 24. So we can see that this is a severe problem in our youth. And the government of Alberta points out the legal aspects and consequences of drinking and driving. For a first-time offense, you have a 1-year license suspension. For a second time, you have a 3rd year, and a third time, you have a 5-year license suspension. And the maximum alcohol blood level is 80 milligrams. Now, if you cause injury or death, you have an automatic 5-year suspension, a criminal record, and potential jail time. Other consequences of any drinking and driving offense is you have an automatic criminal record, you have a license suspension, you have an increase in costs, which include insurance, fees, fines, other transportation. It's very, very expensive. It can affect your employment, and you can have potential jail time. Now, the last aspect that I would like to point out is the moral aspect and how it can just affect you emotionally for the rest of your life. The two glasses here, I'm sure you've heard of the radio announcement for this past weekend about the guy sitting in the bar with taking the drinks and how they affect him. The two glasses that I would like to point out are shame and regret. So not only was this man's life affected, but also his family, and that would severely impact the driver. And as I read this quote, you can imagine how much it affected the man sitting in the courtroom. This is the sister saying this. I come as a member of a family that has suffered and endured greatly over the past 18 years. I come into court this morning with a perspective unlike any other. I know no better before the accident. I only know after. So I didn't know Joel with hair, smooth skin, fingers or toes. I've only known Joel as he comes before you this morning. Watching Joel spend countless hours in the hospital, seeing the physical pain during and after the hospital visits, and the emotional pain, the stares, the constant explanations, the frequent absence of my parents, and the attention regularly directed to the needs of Joel. Justice cannot be served this morning. No jail sentence can take back all that Joel and my family has been through. My parents have witnessed to me the power of the cross, and with Christ as the center of my life, and through his love and his forgiveness, I can love and forgive him who has done this wrong to my family. Yet, this does not justify his actions. So you can just imagine this man sitting in there, feeling the regret and the consequences of his actions, of that horrible event of hitting their vehicle. So in summary, drinking and driving is just plain stupid. Just don't do it. There's so many people in the hospital because of these accidents that could have been prevented. So don't drink and drive. There are other ways to get around, and say if you do want to go out, you can designate a driver. There's so many other ways. Just please don't drink and drive.